Hello, friends. Good morning. I would like to give my thoughts on the upcoming 2022 Formula One season. I am a long time Formula One fan, and I've seen a lot of predictions online, but I just wanted to give my honest opinion on what should make sense. So first of all, a lot of people have recency bias when it comes to the performance of teams and drivers, and a lot of people are saying that for example, just because a driver didn't have a good season last year, they will not do well this year. Well, that is nothing that can't be most further away from the truth, because the fact is, uh, all these 20 drivers are the best in the world, and it's if you or me or anybody else goes and sits in that cockpit, then you'll come to know how challenging it is. But I believe that this is a clean slate with the regulations change, so we don't know the pecking order. And as we have seen from the car launches, which have happened over the last few days, uh, teams are definitely holding back so that their competitors don't get the competitive information. So this is my honest thoughts and predictions for this season. First of all, the lower or the bottom teams will remain there. So I would say Haas, Williams, Alpha, these three teams are going to stay there. I wouldn't predict any order for them, though a lot of people have been putting Haas at the bottom. Though I wouldn't be surprised if Haas, based on the support they're getting from Ferrari, might end up ahead of either of Alpha or Williams. So I would say this is good that those three teams will be in one of those lower three positions. Then for the next three positions, from 7th to 5th, again we have teams like AlphaTauri, Alpine, and Aston Martin, and most likely they will be the ones occupying those positions. Again, I wouldn't predict an order, but all I would say is that it will come down to the drivers, and if Yuki Tsunoda delivers for AlphaTauri, then they could get ahead of Aston Martin or even Alpine. I wouldn't be surprised, because Gasly is a great driver. Now for the top four positions in the constructors, here's where the controversial piece is. A lot of people have been saying that uh, you know Red Bull will still be there and McLaren might contend for a title. My honest take is McLaren will finish where they finished last year, and it'll be between the top three teams, just because the fact is that McLaren have been rising and they have done a great job. But to be Ferrari were there at the top, or fighting with Mercedes in 2018, 2017. So they know what the pressure is like. They're more familiar with being in the top two than McLaren. So I would say Ferrari will be there. And Red Bull just won a title with the first World Drivers' Championship. So Red Bull will also be there. And so, of course, who can discount Mercedes? So I would say now these three teams will be there at the top. The biggest question is who has aced the regulations. I have a gut feeling that there's a lot of people are saying Ferrari are back, so it's very hard to predict what will happen. But I would say that it might end up, who knows, it might be that Ferrari start the season as the best car, but Red Bull and Merc have better development uh, capabilities over the season, so they would catch up. So I wouldn't predict anyone for constructors. I think it'll be the constructors might be a three-way fight between the Red Bull, for Mercedes, and Ferrari, and it'll come down. And that's where I think Ferrari might have the edge, because Perez, as good as he is at Red Bull, he's a second driver. The drivers' disparity is more at Red Bull. So for constructors, if it comes down to the performance of the drivers, then Ferrari and Merc would have an edge. And eventually, even between Merc and Ferrari, Ferrari would have the edge, because George Russell, as good as he is, being the 2018 F2 champion, he's not, I don't expect him to be as good as a team pairing right away as Leclerc or Sainz at Ferrari. So I would bet that for if in a close fight where drivers make the difference, Ferrari have the edge for constructors. Now coming back to the drivers' championship, of course, it's easy to say, because we know the teams, the constructors in the last three places, the middle three places, and the top four places. So I will just say that about the drivers, it's very hard to predict. I think the drivers will come to who is especially for the World Drivers Championship. I few honest predictions. As good as Russell is, I just feel he doesn't, you know, dragging an outperforming car, dragging a bad car to the front of the field, or is great, or getting it to Q2 or Q3. But when you are given a championship contending car and consistently performing, that's a different level of pressure. So I would not expect him to, you know, I would not consider him a title contender already, even if Mercedes have the best car. I think Lewis and his experience will make a huge difference. And if Ferrari and Red Bull are really there in the top three, then yeah, of course. And I would say Max has a great chance. And Ferrari, given the structure, they might be a better bet for constructors with equal driver pairings, but you never know. It's very hard to say. I would say drivers championship most likely if the top three teams have the best cars or roundabouts thereof, if they are within equal to each other, then it might be a showdown between Lewis and Max, and probably Leclerc a close third right now, I would say. But if Ferrari have the best car and they are able to maintain their strategies throughout the year, deliver consistently and manage the races very well, then who knows, they might have a chance too. So these are my honest predictions. I just wanted to give my take, and if I would appreciate if you would like my video and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.